Good evening. Evening. Welcome to the Albuquerque Center for Spiritual Living and our new time and our new sacred space. And we want to thank the First Unitarian Church for allowing us to be here and share the space with them.
Can't hear you.
Thank you. How's this? Okay, so my name is Kelly, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here. And for all of those of you joining us online, please say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're viewing from. We have people here in the sanctuary that will respond to you. It's my honor to welcome you here for this sacred time together. Thank each of you, both online and here in this sanctuary, for being here, because we are blessed by you. Please join me throughout this coming week for Spirit Calling at 9 a.m. each morning for an inspirational message, and you'll also receive a daily affirmation by text at 6 p.m. Our theme today is Change Shapers, as we continue our series of the Way of Transformation. Please join me in saying our mission statement, which is located behind you. The projector is not working on this side, but it is behind you. So our mission statement: love in action, transforming lives, transforming communities. I'm going to be reading from the introduction of The Science of Mind book by Ernest Holmes, our founder of this philosophy. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter, and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and you are welcomed to my home. There is room in this house for you, for all. I have swept the hearth and lit the fire. I have a warm room and a cheerful space for you to find comfort and rest within. The table is laid and the fruits of life are spread before you. The wine is also here. It sparkles in the light. I have set a chair for you where the sunbeam dances through the shade. Sit and rest and refresh your soul. Eat the fruit and drink the wine. All is yours. You are welcomed here. Ernest Holmes, 1926. Let's begin today with a precious prayer. We call it Invocation. Just means an opening prayer. So I'm going to invite each of us to take a unifying breath together, settling into this space. We are connected by this one breath. One breath connecting us to the divine, unlimited source of all. With each breath, we allow ourselves to become increasingly aware of the presence of God that is right here, right now. With one breath, we open our hearts more and more, allowing the prayers, the words, the messages to gift us a deeper connection to ourselves, to each other, and to the Creator. With one breath, we recognize that this time together that we will be sharing has all been created from love, and each of us will receive magnificent opportunities to embrace our divine good, our divine truth, and our divine power. And we can anchor that knowing and saying, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Kelly. Good evening. I'm practitioner Clarissa Crow, and I'm so excited to be in this new shared space. I want to acknowledge our High Watch practitioners who are sitting at the back of the sanctuary, Vanessa Owen and Laura Maness. And what that means is just they're sitting in prayer for the duration of the service, just knowing the highest and best for our time together and for each person here. So thanks to the two of you. And it is now time to move into our candle lighting altar time. So folks online, this is your opportunity to put a candle emoji into the Facebook or YouTube. Joylyn and I are here with our phones to watch for your prayer requests. And those of you here in the room, we will ask that you move up the center aisle to come up and light candles. So it's a little bit different than before. The candles are already here, and there's little wooden sticks that you can light from one of the already lit candles and use those to light your candle for whatever is on your heart today. Any gratitude, anything that might be heavy on your heart. This is our prayer time. You can then move this way to my left. We have a microphone down here on the floor. If you would like to speak your prayer out loud to the room, you can do that, or just head back down these side aisles to your seat. So come on up. We're lighting a candle for Lori Martinez.
And our candle lighters, I'd like to acknowledge, are Emmanuel and Grace. A prayer request for Greg Gardner.
Kenneth Winfrey says, peace and welcome to our new space. And he says, prayers for Florida, Indonesia, and every heart between.
My prayers are for my, new friend Bill Chaplin. He lives in Texas, and my friend Jeannie Walker Morton texted me today saying that he had a mild heart attack. So prayers for him, and also prayers for Kat Gordon. She's in Virginia, and I want her to have a safe journey back home and have fun there. So it is.
So
And
it
so
is.
it is. A prayer request for Kathy Alfonso.
My prayer is for our oneness, our togetherness, for Amani. You are the best gift that God ever gave us. We love you. Thank you for this. This is you, your creation.
Amen. So it is. A prayer request for Bill Heath for perfect health.
A prayer request from Kathy McGill, who is continuing to heal her foot. A candle lit for our community as we continue this great adventure. For each one of you who are online and who are here in person.
For embracing change and being in the flow.
Nancy Henson asks for prayers for peace.
I light a candle for gratitude for new beginnings within the change.
So it is. Prayer for Adam and Erica Koplow. Prayers for Josh and Becky McAllister.
And so in this moment of divine perfection, exactly.
Oh, there's one more.
My faith right here.
Save the best for last. I speak my word of gratitude for a new grandbaby that was born 4 weeks ago today, and for a lovely 2 weeks in England visiting my daughter, husband, and the 2 grandchildren. And now that our service is at 5 p.m. on Sunday, I can be with you because when service was at 10 a.m. on Sunday, I was Skyping with them. So everything is relative and everything is beautiful.
Yippee, something to be
Yay,
excited
Faith.
about.
Congratulations. Blessed be.
And so in this moment of divine perfection, I say thank you, because each and every moment is divine perfection. I invite you to bring your attention to your heart space, that place where God resides, that place where love is. And as we close this part of our service, I invite you to allow anything on your heart to come forth and allow it to be heard and seen and known. So for every prayer, spoken and unspoken, heard by the voice or by the mind, we know that it is already in the mind of God. For as soon as that intention is set, it is already done. My heart is filled to overflowing in the knowing that this is the truth. And so it is, amen.
So it is.
At this time, I would like to introduce our beloved practitioner, Dino, who will be doing our sacred reading.
Thank you so very much. Welcome to our guests. My name is Dino, and I am a proud licensed spiritual practitioner here. I'd like to read our sacred reading for this evening. It is titled, "Every Worthy Desire of My Heart is Fulfilled." When the dawn breaks and the shadows flee, when the hills are touched with the rosy glow of the sun's first rays, I wake to the thought that I am one with all life. I lift mine eyes to the eastern sky and sing with the joy of one who beholds the eternal presence in everything. I permit my mind to become saturated with the divine ideal. In everything I do, I sense the divine presence, sustaining, upholding, and guiding me. I rejoice in my unity with all. I know that I am not isolated from the all good, but am one with it. I know that there is a divine pilot steering my boat safely to a harbor of peace, to an environment of happiness, and to a haven of good. Therefore, I am not afraid, even when the billows roll and the wind sweeps by, for there is a divine hand guiding my ship. There is an invisible presence at the wheel. I lift the sails of faith and let the winds of love fill them with the mighty power of the divine presence. My boat rides upon a sea of pure spirit and finds safe anchorage everywhere, always. I am guided by divine intelligence, which goes before me and makes perfect my way. I have a divine right to rise above fear, impoverishment, and limitation. Today, I exercise dominion over my environment, over every circumstance and condition that I contact. The joy of life flows into my thought and work. Peace and harmony attend everything I do. Love and protection are ever present. Today I know that every worthy desire of my heart is fulfilled, and so it is.
Yes. Look at us! How great is this? Did it feel like this day was not coming? Anybody was like, oh, where's Krista? I know it felt like, there's Krista. We made it. I want everybody to turn around and give a shout out and some love to Krista, beloveds online. For everybody who packed a box, moved a thing, swept a thing, helped in any way for the move, please stand. Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I hope you will join me over these next several weeks with just a little exhaling, because I can tell you I am exhaling and I am experiencing what it means to be a change shaper. And I invite all of you for this next bit of time that we spend together to consider yourselves a shaper of change. That's what we're talking about today. Does anybody use affirmations? Anybody vision boarding? Do I have any spell casters? Witches, wizards? Every single one of those methods are making use of spiritual law. They are not wildly different ideas or practices. Every single one of those practices, those attempts at shaping change, are making use of spiritual law. The spiritual law of cause and effect. The spiritual law of manifestation, the law of attraction, however you want to name it. Every single one of those things is an art, if you will, to align ourselves with the power of spirit. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, defined this process, the creative process. And the Centers for Spiritual Living, of which we are a member, describes it like this. The one infinite reality operates through the universal law of cause and effect. The universal law is impersonal, automatic, and intelligent. The universal law receives the direct impress of Spirit's impulse and acts upon it, bringing it into form. Individuals, you and I, have this same threefold nature, and that we get to use the creative process to shape our human experience and alignment with the whole, perfect, and complete reality. Did you know that you were that badass? That you can take the spiritual power of the infinite reality and shape the manifest reality. One of the things that I think is so special about communities like ours is that we get to take these ideas, these practices, and these methods that we learn on Super Soul Sunday or in the latest women's magazine, vision boarding and affirmations and sticky notes on the bathroom mirror, and we get to up-level. We get to take this sort of surface practice and take it up to where we actually align ourselves with an infinite reality, infinite power. We've been talking this last month in our beginning of our series on the way of transformation, right? The mission here is that we transform lives and communities. And we're spending 3 months on how to do that. So last month, we started out with how to be in alignment, how to be where God shows up. And it is my belief that there is a process in this creative process, and it is a be, do, have. And that when we can be in the beingness of our divine nature, then we move into the doing. And then we get to have the having. And that is actually a way for us to think about the use of spiritual law. As first, we have to acknowledge who we're being, which is what we spent September talking about. And what we're going to spend October talking about is, okay, what do I do now that I am willing to toy with this idea that I am a divine creature who has access to spiritual power? And when we decide that we get to consciously make use of spiritual law in the creative process, we step into being shapers of change. There's a super popular phrase in the New Thought community, change your thinking, change your life. We probably had bumper stickers in a bookstore at some point that said that. I hate that phrase. Because I don't think it's true. I think it oversimplifies. I think it's what you're going to get in the women's magazine and your cute little vision boards and affirmation stickers. Change your belief, shape your life. I think this is more true. Because we are always in relationship with the whole. There is one life. Yes, there's one life, there's one fabric, and we each are a thread in that fabric. So to imagine that somehow my thread is going to be over here on its own little piece of fabric, making its own picture, and y'all can do what you want with your threads over there. That's actually not how it works. One fabric, one life. You and I each have a role to play inside this greater reality, this greater wholeness. And it is always in context of the one life, of the whole that you and I belong to. And so with that in mind, I want to come back. The alignment with Spirit puts us in the flow of Spirit. But what is true in this description of the creative process is that we have to be in alignment with the whole, perfect, and complete reality. Consciously in alignment, because the truth is, the capital T truth is, we can never step outside of that reality. There is no other place to go. There is no other reality. There is one reality. But when we choose to consciously align ourselves with that one reality, with our divine nature, with that divine guidance that Dino read about in his reading, when we consciously align with that, that is what gives us the capacity and the power to be in conscious co-creation with the infinite reality. But the work is in the aligning process. The work is in the understanding of this law, of this principle, of this spiritual power that we have access to. We have all been given this incredible opportunity with breath in our bodies to shape a life, to make a life. And that many of us, I think, spend a lot of time wondering why our lives are shaped how they're shaped. Wondering what it is we can do about how my life is showing up. Wondering what it is I can do about how life is showing up. And often feeling small. And with not enough power or capacity to make change. And yet there is this greater reality always available, always moving for good, always looking for greater expression through yours and my alignment with our divine nature. And I love that in spiritual community that you and I can get together and say, you know, I am not feeling the shape of life right now. It's not my jam. I don't like how so-and-so's showing up. I don't like how them over there is showing up. I don't like how I'm showing up. Can you help me know a greater reality? Can you help me consciously begin to create a different shape? Because we are in this together. This is the power of spiritual community. Because when we start to practice and we try to do this thing on our own, we have this fantasy, this illusion that my fabric is my fabric. I'm over here weaving my own thing. You weave your thing. And we're under this false reality that somehow it is possible to figure it all out and do it all by myself. That I don't need you. That you don't need me. And it is simply not what is true. The other beautiful thing about consciously choosing to shape change is then in that conscious decision, you decide that you are willing to acknowledge your place in the whole. Because consciously choosing to shape change from a place of lack. We talked about this in September, right? I want what I want, and I want it because I don't have it, and there's not enough of it, and I want it anyways. But when we choose to go, you know what? I want to shape a change. I want to actively and consciously be a part of seeing change come forward. Then I have to acknowledge this change that I want to see arise in the world. I get to go back to the beginning of the formula and go, wait a minute, okay, I want this change. This is the future that I long for, the world that works for everybody, a life that works for me, whatever the thing is, the health, the love, the location that you want for yourself. When you've decided that that is a change you would like to see come into form, you get to go back to the beginning of the formula and go, okay, who am I being in relationship to that vision I have, to that change that I want to see? And we get to go back to the beginning of the formula and go, okay, I want that thing, but why? What is my deeper heart desire? I want this thing and I want it because I want to have a greater experience of ease. Maybe that's your thing. You would like things to have the expression of ease. You would like ease to show up for more people in the world. So you get to come back to yourself and your thread Am I being ease? And then we get into the doing, but we can't get into the doing if we don't first assess and honestly look at our being in it. This is actually where affirmative prayer or science of mind treatment comes in. I think often when we learn science of mind treatment, when we learn affirmative prayer, we get really excited because we start manifesting like parking spaces. Yes, anybody manifest parking spaces? Yeah. And we forget that it's more than a magic wand. The purpose of affirmative prayer and science of mind treatment, which is simply a way to pray to change your own consciousness. It is not a method to tell God what to do. It is not a method to get the parking spot or the fancy car. The whole purpose of science of mind treatment and affirmative prayer is to change your own belief and thinking, your awareness. And you know you need a change in awareness when you come back over to the beginning of the process and step honestly into what it is and who it is you are being. I want this thing to show up over here. So let me just like vision board and affirmative prayer and da da da. Okay, I'm waiting for the thing to come. Come on. I did the things. I made the vision board. I'm doing the affirmations. Why isn't this showing up? Why isn't everybody in the world acting right? That's my favorite prayer. Oh, because I'm using prayer like a magic wand, instead of doing the deeper work, which is really what spiritual community is for. Let me come back to the beginning. Who am I being? What am I believing right now? This is when we pray. This is when we go, you know what? There's a condition in my life that I feel out of alignment about, that I know in the truth of my being is a misrepresentation of God and love. So let me come back over here and do these steps, which is step 1 of affirmative prayer. Let me recognize that there is only one. There's one love, one life, one intelligence. It is always moving for good. And I may have forgotten about that truth. I may not be being with that truth right now. And you'll know because you'll start praying those words and there will be a thing in your body that's like, yeah, right. There's not only one. There can't be only one. Otherwise, if there was only one, that would not be happening. If there was only God moving for good, why is all the isness going down? That is why we pray, is to get into honest assessment and shift what is out of alignment in our own beliefs and consciousness. And you pray that first step, you pray that recognition until you can feel like maybe, yes, it's true. And if you get to the place where, okay, there's only one. I've said enough things. I danced it out. I sat in ceremony. Whatever it is you need to do till you can get to a place of belief that there is only one. That's step 1 of prayer. Step 2 is, okay, I'm there. There's only one. God is right here, right now. And if God is in all places at all times, never missing, oh my God, that God has to be right here in me. That's step 2. And you say that prayer until you believe it. Until it feels like a resonant reality in your experience that you too are made of divine stuff. And only then can you bring into your prayer what it is you are trying to make real in your lived experience. And so what I know about this form of prayer is sometimes it may take days to get through step 1 and step 2. Sometimes it takes years. And when you are in that resonant place, when you are in that aligned place, the alignment with the infinite reality, that's when the magic wand comes out. That's when you've got the juju of the universe to start shaping change. That's when you can declare that anything in your life that is out of alignment with truth will simply dissipate. Because now you've got the juice. Now you are wielding the spiritual power that each one of us, as Dino said in his reading, is our divine birthright. But the work, which is why I believe you and I show up in rooms like these on a regular basis, rather than just Super Soul Sundaying and sticky notes on the bathroom mirror, is because you are ready to do the hard work of getting into alignment. And you want to do it with other people who are comrades on the mission, who are going to be like, when you're like, I can't, I'm tired, I'm so tired of this stupid spiritual stuff. I just want some stuff to be easy, please. When you're in that place, there's a community member right behind you going, baby, I got you. It's going to be all right. You're tired today, I'm not. I can hold this with you. That's why. Because when you begin to get a glimpse, when you begin to have a taste of what that alignment feels like, you begin to understand there's no going back. There is no turning away from the wholeness that you've begun to experience. And the things that you begin to desire, the future you long for, the vision you have begins to change because you understand more. You understand that everything you create is always impacting the whole. You understand that your very vibration is impacting every aspect of animated life around you. You begin to understand how critical your thread in the fabric is. You begin to understand that a desire for yourself that is out of alignment with the whole simply is no longer worth your attention. And the conscious change shaper that you declare yourself to be, that change that you seek to be a change maker for, begins to more obviously be connected with that greater fabric. It begins to shape you as you seek to shape it. You begin to value, everybody ready? I'm going to say a word that nobody really likes. You begin to value surrender. You begin to value being out of control. And I often see this value missing in spiritual communities like ours. I was in a class yesterday with the practitioners, two students. We were looking at the Ernest Holmes 1927 What We Believes. And one of the What We Believes, and I'm not going to say it in the right exact Ernest language, but not important. But the language is, we believe that we can control conditions with the power of mind. And one of the students was like, I don't know that that's how I see that. And I was like, all right, let's get into it. Let's wrestle with this. Because I don't believe that either. I don't think it's ours to be in the business of controlling anything. You can't be in a co-creative, collaborative experience and try to be controlling. Nobody likes you when you do that. Anybody have that experience on a team and you're trying to run the whole show? I know a lot about it because I'm bossy. So since the littlest of days, I've been that girl that like, oh, is she on our team? Because I want to control everybody and everything, and I want to make sure they do it my way, and so that it has the outcome that I want. Anybody understand that? Mm-hmm. So sometimes when we find teachings like this, or we find spells, or affirmations, or the tool of vision boarding, those of us who love some control think we have found a thing. Oh, now I get to control the universe. This is some exciting stuff. And yet our power lies in giving up control. Our power lies in getting into relationship with the divine creative force of the one life, the one intelligence. That divine guidance that is promised as our birthright is a guidance. That means we, as individual drops in the ocean, must be willing to be open to guidance. We must be willing to listen for, watch for, feel for, sense for that impulse of love that is rising in our being, that is divinely given. And allowing ourselves, surrendering to that impulse. And this is a very different thing than controlling conditions with the power of mind. This is about being with the entire co-creative process of life itself and understanding my place in it, your place in it, as a vital participant and collaborator in the one life. It just has a totally different vibe than controlling conditions. Anybody? Yes? Can you see yourself as a divinely appointed collaborator? This is an answer part where you say something back. Okay. Yes. Say so online, beloveds. You are here by divine appointment. And you get to step into this greater reality, this greater belonging, when you decide that, yes, I will participate in consciously shaping change, along with all these other beautiful drops in the ocean. Which means I'm going to see about how my thread is harmonizing with the threads around me. I am going to put my attention beyond my own well-being to see how it is we are vibing together. How's the team doing? Am I doing my part? One of my favorite commitments in the 15 commitments of conscious leadership is commitment number 1, which is taking 100% responsibility. The thing is when we hear that, many of us think, oh, have I taken my 100%? Am I doing enough? Have I been responsible enough? But the actual best part of that commitment is not overtaking responsibility. Understanding wholly what is yours and what is not yours. And I'm pretty sure controlling the universe, not yours, not mine. But my 100% responsibility is my thread. And I have absolute responsibility and freedom about how my thread goes and how my thread is in harmony with all the other threads around me. If I'm all knotted up, got a big gap where I forgot to weave myself in, that's on me. But if there are a few million threads on the tapestry who are doing knotted up, gappy things, not mine. Let me come back to my thread. Get really clear about how my thread is working. And then I look at the threads that are near to me, that I have influence, that my vibrational forces can have impact around. That's my 100% responsibility. And when I choose to do the work of going back to the beginning of the process, getting really clear about who I'm being, and doing the work, the prayer work, recognizing and unifying and realizing, acknowledging and recognizing, unifying and aligning, experiencing and realizing. We have to acknowledge. We have to acknowledge what is. We have to acknowledge what is right here in my own life, what's going on with my thread, what's going on with my beloved's threads, what's going on in my neighborhood's threads, my communities that I participate and collaborate in. I acknowledge what is. I acknowledge when it's misalignment. And then I acknowledge and recognize that it too can only be happening within the one. And then I get over to the aligning and the unifying, which allows me then to have the experience that I long to experience, to make real what it is that I really want to make real. This is the power of this very simple set of steps. And the only reason I'm talking about the first 3 steps, for those of you who are familiar with the 5 steps of prayer, is the truth is the 5 steps are completely made up. Not by Ernest Holmes, not by any founders of the New Thought movement. These 3 steps were revealed and experienced in the practice of affirming a greater reality. And then they got codified. And nobody cares about codifying. It's not important. What's important is that you understand the purpose of this prayer is so that you have an opportunity to become more aware and more conscious of the greater infinite reality, the spiritual power that is yours to make use of. That's what those steps are about. So we can name them recognize, unify, realize. We can name them acknowledge, align, experience. Same. And when you do that, this really funny thing happens, which is what got codified. When you do that and you actually fully move into that process and recognize, realize that you have actually begun to shape change with consciousness, you will be grateful no matter what. The gratitude comes naturally. You don't have to force it. You don't need to be gratitude journaling. It just happens. Because when you get into those waters, when you taste that nectar, gratitude is just what happens. And faith, which is the releasing step, which is I have planted the seed and I'm going to let the soil do what the soil does because it's none of my business. That is just a natural outcome of doing the work of recognizing real and unifying and realizing, of acknowledging, aligning, and experiencing. And every single one of us has access to this process. But the access to the process has nothing to do with if you will get to have the experience of it. Which is why I am on this stage right now, in this community right now, is because I know that it takes work. I know that it takes profound commitment. I know that it takes comrades. And that is why I am here. And I deeply hold the prayer that we will continue to be change shapers together. So if you are a yes to be a conscious co-creator, collaborator, and change shaper. Anchor this with me in prayer. All right, let's pray. What I know for sure about this nature of the one, what I know in every fiber of my being, what I know is the only truth that is absolutely, capital T, true, is there is one life. There is one intelligence, there is one love, there is one wisdom, there is one absolute that is beginning of all that we know and all that we don't know, is right here, right now, and is beyond what we can see and understand. And that this one is the only power in the universe, and that you and I are made of this God stuff. That you and I, with this divine intelligence, have been brought into life in this moment on the planet right here and right now by divine appointment. That you and I are here on purpose to be the way, to be the how, to be the manifest reality of love, to be the manifest reality of harmony, to be the manifest reality of joy and peace and compassion and kindness. There is no other possibility, because what I know about the one is it is all those things. And it is divinely, infinitely giving itself through our lived lives. And for that, I am wildly grateful. For that truth, for that reality, that you and I right here, right now, have been brought together on purpose to be the collective love right here, right now, in all the beautiful and unique shapes and ways that we choose to be that love, that life, that joy, that wisdom, that harmony. And I know that that holy sacred yes has been said by each one of you here, by each one of you on the other side of that camera. And I know because of that yes, it is already in motion. Our conscious awareness of the truth of who we are has already just grown and expanded, able to hold more of this life that doesn't always look so lovely, able to hold more love, to be that radiant love, reaching further than we've reached before. How good it is to be here right now, together, as the way, as the change shapers. I just let this be in the soil of the one, sprouting forth, blossoming forth all of its goodness. Anchor this with me in prayer by saying amen. Ashe, aho, and so it is.
All right. You guys ready to sing and dance? It's Clarissa. I'm back here. I'm going to invite everybody to stand up and turn around. If you're able to stand, stand as you are able, because we're going to play a video, and this is where we have a projector right now. So, yay. And I'm just going to sing along with these girls in the video. One of them looks a lot like me. And everybody, I see some dancers up in here, so let's party, guys. Claim that truth. Anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible when you believe. Faith can make a mountain move when you believe. Faith can make a mountain move when you believe. But you know that you can change your life when you believe. Don't you know that you can change your life when you believe in yourself? When you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe, when you believe, make a miracle when you believe. Yeah. No, you're gonna make a miracle when you believe. Make a miracle, gonna make a miracle. Everything you want, you got when you believe. Anything you want, you got when you believe in yourself. 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 When you believe in me. And I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can do. Gonna make a miracle. Make a miracle. Gonna make a miracle. Make a miracle. Gonna make a miracle. Make a miracle. Gonna make a miracle. When you believe. Yay, thank you. We can look back at Amani now.
It's been a while since I heard y'all sing that loud. All right, this is the time where we move into our giving, and I would love to again acknowledge everybody who made this move happen. And there are so many of you. And all of you, if you are a financial donor, please raise your hand or stand. Thank you. Thank you, because your dollars have been a critical thread in this fabric of this community that made this moment possible. And they will continue to be a critical thread as we move forward and begin the work of shaping the change it is that we want to see for the future of this community. There are 3 ways you can give online. You can text to give 505-847-8431. You can click to give by going to our website, ABQCSL.org, and you can QR code or pick to give. And again, thank you so much for all your contributions. I want to take this time again to thank the Unitarian Universalist community for welcoming us into their home. And I don't know if you all got to see outside, they made us a banner welcoming us onto their campus. So afterwards, when we wrap up here, we will be heading over to the social hall. For those of you who would like, there are some snacks and goodies. The practitioners who are available to pray today and the prayer requests are going to be in the social hall just past the bathrooms. But some of the staff and I will make ourselves available to tour, to walk around and see the campus and see places that we will be meeting for classes and for the Friday night. So if you would like a tour, just come find me in the social hall afterwards. Sound good? Thank you, everybody. Take it away, Kelly.
Thank you. So I'm going to invite everybody to, to please visit our website at ABQCSL.org to view our calendar of events. And thank you, Krista. She keeps that updated for all of us. And there you can discover all kinds of different ways you can be involved in this community. You can sign up for the newsletter on that website. You can sign up to receive the Daily Spirit Calling. And I was asked earlier, is the morning 9 a.m. call linked to the 6 o'clock text? Because someone wanted one and not the other. But they are linked. So if you want to receive the call in the morning and the text in the evening, please go to our website, sign up there. You're also invited to go to the About Us section of the website, and there you can choose a practitioner that you can meet with and pray with and get some support, guidance, or just someone else to celebrate, whatever it is you want to celebrate. So also you can email us at prayer@abqcsl.org, and those go to all the practitioners as well as all the ministers, and we hold you in prayer for the entire week. So we like to pray here, so make our day and let us pray for you. Yeah.
Can I get some audio? My beloved representative, thank you, thank you. I'm on HH2. Hello. I will just move to the podium. Okay. I forgot one thing. So in honor of this new time that we are meeting in this new space, we will be always gathering socially afterwards in the social hall. Sometimes that may be in a slightly different space, but always have the opportunity to hang out. And during that time, myself and usually at least one council member will be available for questions, thoughts, discussion, whatever you would like to share about this time of change or ask. And monthly, beginning this very month, so the final Sunday in October, which I believe is the 30th, we will be having a monthly potluck, which will be an opportunity to just bring a dish to share, whatever you want to share. Please do not get uptight about it. Just bring whatever you want. Don't worry if somebody else is going to bring it too. It'll all work itself out. And that'll be happening following the gathering. And on the 30th of this month, we will also have an opportunity for all of our newer folks and for our folks who've maybe been around for a while who want to know what their next step might be. It'll be an opportunity for you to learn more about our values, our beliefs, and opportunities to participate and serve in this community. So that will be happening before we have service in the afternoon of the 30th. You can find out more about that in the upcoming newsletters, so just keep an eye for that. All right? Thank you. Back to Kelly.
Yay. That sounds amazing. So I'm going to invite all of us just to allow ourselves to settle into the space, to once again go inward. And let's take a unifying breath together as we allow the beautiful words that were shared with us in music with Amani to settle deeper within us. I'm grateful for every moment today that reminds each of us to dive deeper into the spiritual, creative process, becoming a change shaper. I am thankful for the strength and the courage to live an authentic life full of audacity. I am deeply appreciative for each of you, here and online, for joining us and sharing your unique self with us today. Your light helps us shine brighter. And in remembering of the truth and the wisdom spoken here today, I joyfully let go and release everything into the law, knowing that it is manifesting and becoming change shapers is happening right here, right now in our lives. And we're allowing it to happen through grace. And we can anchor that knowing by saying, and so it is. So please, if you want to say it with me. When my thoughts are full of unanswered questions, I turn to the sweet spot of my inner life by grounding myself in the spiritual truth of the Creator.